I've got some beef with Bandai Namco Entertainment Incorporated. Now, originally when I made this video, I was all over the place talking about their mismanaging of the Digimon franchise, how they ruined an entire genre of anime games, the death of Soul Calibur, may Chaos rest its soul, the despicable business practices of Tekken 8, and so on. But I realized something after ranting for about 30 minutes. I'm a VTuber. Why make one video when I can milk this conglomerate like Bandai milks the fanbase of their franchises with ill will and malicious vibes? So for my very first entry into this new series, I will be yapping into the void about Bandai's insufferable approach when it comes to Digimon. Now, side note, this is not an all-inclusive compendium of their releases and business decisions. It only covers the ones that have directly had an impact on me as a fan of the series. I'd like to throw that ass back to a time when I first learned about Digimon. I was hot off of mushroom stamping the entire Johto and Kanto region in Pokemon Crystal, and I was looking for a new video game to quench my thirst for monster-based violence. I levitated into my local game store, rolled my eyes into the back of my head, before mind-melding with a cashier to see if they carried any monster games. Fortunately, the super nerd at the counter had memories of something that would forever change the course of my life. The CD case had a bear on it, and two dinosaur-looking things. I rushed over to the PS1 section and placed my grubby little mitts on the shelving unit, quickly scanning its rows. There it was, Digimon World 3. I pleaded to my mother with the utmost dignity by groveling on my knees and begging her to buy it for me. I just had to have it. I had to pick one of these 3 monsters to conquer this new world with. After some skillful bartering, I left the store with a new game and a new list of chores I was required to do over the weekend. Once home, I phased through the walls and into my bedroom and placed the game in my treasured PS1 system. One beautiful nostalgia-filled boot-up sequence later, and I was greeted with a cinematic movie. I was in shock. Can't quite remember how long I sat there drooling in front of my CRTV as the intro movie looped and looped and looped, but I knew right then and there I would be hooked like a kraken on bedrock. Once in, I learned quickly that the protagonist actually spoke. That was so cool. Not only that, but apparently I was going to be transported into some kind of online game. What a novel idea. Hopefully that doesn't get abused too much. The game prompted me to pick my name, so obviously I changed my name from Junior to Wesley, named after the male lead in The Princess Bride. I was so excited to finally pick my first Digimon, but when finally presented with the opportunity to, I froze. I could pick 3 Digimon? This game was so cool. I start off by picking from 3 different packs of Digimon. The balanced pack had Kodomon, Renamon, and Patamon. The powerful pack had Monmon, Agumon, and Renamon. And the maniac pack had Kunamon, Gilmon, and Patamon. I lost my fucking mind at the idea of having 2 of the 3 box art Digimon on my team. So I went into the maniac pack. Now, unfortunately, I forgot that I had taken my memory card to my father's over the weekend, so I was unable to save. Whoops. But I promised myself next time I booted up, I would start over with the powerful pack because I really liked the design of Monmon and Renamon. Ultimately, I never wound up beating Digimon World 3, but I remember it fondly, and I do plan to finish the game on stream someday. One game, just one game, was all it took for me to be hooked forever. However, at the time, I had no idea how painful of an experience being a Digimon fan would be. The following years proved to be challenging as a Digimon enjoyer. The only people who even knew about Digimon always compared it to Pokemon and treated it like it was some kind of knockoff. My sitter at the time, and now roommate, was the only person I could freely discuss the franchise with, and they shared the same feelings I did about the series. There never seemed to be enough merch or media of the franchise in the West for us to get our fix. Collecting the cards when we could find them was fine, but it wasn't like we could go to our local Walmart and buy a pack. Nor could we get figures at any stores that weren't specifically importers. This was the first time in my life I not only felt isolated as a fan by my friends, but also by the company of the franchise. I couldn't wrap my head around it, so I clung to anything that I could find. So much so that I actually ruined 2 copies of Digimon the movie, which it wasn't until later I found out that movie was actually segments of other specials chopped up and slammed into one package, which was kind of a buzzkill, to be honest. So where did that leave me as a fan? Well, it left me savoring the scraps I could get my hands on. These tasty little nuggets were the games that released in the West. Yeah, speaking of the games, it's awfully fitting that each Digimon World game had extremely different playstyles and feels. Almost like each season of the anime being very different from the last. So for Digimon World 1 through 4, we had a monster raising simulator, a dungeon diver, a traditional RPG, and one that we're not going to talk about. They even dipped their toes into platform fighters on consoles and handhelds with the Digimon Rumble Arena series and Battle Spirit Saga series. There was a kart racer that I still try to repress in the darkest parts of my mind. There was also the Digimon World 1 remake, Digimon World Next Order. A few handheld JRPGs being Digimon World DS and Dawn and Dusk that honestly had map design that the CIA probably used for torture. A card game on the PS1, and then Data Squad, which followed Marcus, the Digimon Punching Chad. And finally, the two-part series where you get a heartfelt story while using Digimon to solve problems for people in the world around you, being the Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth series. Sure, there was MMOs and a mobile game or two, but they don't really count. The reason I listed all of these off is because every single one, with the exception of the Cyber Sleuth games and Digimon World Next Order, I knew about because I specifically looked them up or was looking for Digimon games in stores. There was no advertisements on TV. There was no advertisements in the store, in my magazines, or easily available on YouTube or online. Why? What the heck? Every single arena fighter Bandai pumped out, their Gundam games, Tekken, and more were constantly face-fucking me, but I never once saw anything on Digimon. How could Bandai put its all into all the other franchises but half-ass Digimon? And not for anything, but as time went on, the quality of Digimon games didn't really improve. Even their more modern game releases had the stink of outdated graphics, occasional performance issues, phoned-in voice acting, and limited rosters with tired gameplay. Sure, they were still fun, and yeah, I bought the games and played them, but I couldn't get the bitter taste of being an afterthought out of my mouth. The solution seemed pretty clear to me. They could release a safe JRPG with every Digimon in it, upscale the graphics with some clean animations, and give us a meaningful story. Fans of the Monstama genre would eat it up, especially since the competition is being dominated by indie titles like Cassette Beasts, Anode Hearts, and the like right now. I mean, if Pal World wasn't proof that people are looking for something to spearhead the genre in the modern age, I'm not sure what would be. The fucking game wasn't even a Monstama game, it was a survival crafting game. And they still fucking bought it. Then again, whatever game they have in development right now, they've been quiet about. Either it's going through development hell, or will release as a serviceable stinker, or it's gonna be the magnum opus of Digimon games. I could sit here and spend the next 8 minutes complaining about the lack of direction, the quality, and the advertising giving to Digimon video games, but I think my time would be better served somewhere else. In February 2023, I found myself at the height of my frustration with another company called Bushiroad. Oh, don't you worry, Bushy baby, you'll get your turn later, you stupid fuck. I was an avid Weiss Schwarz player, and to this day, it's still one of my favorite balanced card games of all time. But for reasons I'll cover in another video, I decided to step away and go on hiatus. In my search for another card game, I remembered that during COVID, I was interested in getting into the Digimon card game. And as with all things Digimon and Bandai related, there is a but. I stayed away due to the disgusting lack of product here in the West. Starter decks were going for 6 times the price online and were constantly out of stock. Booster packs were damn near impossible to find. I remember thinking at the time, classic Bandai Namco shafting Digimon yet again. So by the end of February, I found myself meandering into my local game store, perusing its goods, when I spotted a box with Mastamon on it. Fortunately, this caught my eye when my roommate was there with me. We talked each other into each grabbing a starter deck. I, of course, grabbed the Mastamon deck, while he got the Imperial Dramon deck. Fast forward a year and a half, and I'm addicted to this insanely fun card game. Its resource mechanic is like a constant game of risk-reward while playing tug-of-war with a party of your favorite Digimon. I love the card game so much, which yet again turns out that it's a good way to get my feelings stomped on by Bandai. Because yet again, they treat Digimon like how I'd treat my meat if I wasn't married. Tournaments? Given less and less resources and dates. Product? Wildly inconsistent. Releases? Well, actually, they kind of fixed that. Pretty soon, the release schedule for the West will match the East, so that's insanely hype. Online simulator? Listen here, you little sh— A simulator for me is a simulator for a friend. But Bandai has forsaken us. When will the suffering end? Tell me why they decided it was a good idea to reboot the Dragon Ball TCG and give them a simulator first. Duh, Lucky. You could have less cards to program in and— Shut the fuck up. Not only did we get shafted out of a sim, for now, but they keep making more card games and giving other games way more support than we ever received. Like, I'm happy for the fans of the other franchises, but why? Listen, I know I've been doing a lot of complaining here, but it's not because I hate Digimon or anything. I just think that we as fans deserve better. That's really it. Digimon did a lot for me growing up, and it's a shame that more people may never get the chance to love the series because of Bandai's mismanagement. Bandai, I implore you, spend some time making an image of what you want Digimon to be and lock the fuck in. Spend the resources, spend the time to do the ads, and be a business trying to make your product succeed. Actually, you know what? Let's do a rapid fire round of some easy cash money ideas and personal wishes of mine that you can have completely for free. This is me going on record stating that I, the Lucky Tempest, and the person that is the voice behind the Lucky Tempest will never attempt to come for Bandai Namco or any of its affiliates if they use any of the ideas listed or ideas that could be interpreted as similar to my own in the future. I hereby forfeit all rights to the concepts and fortunes to be made in the future. Okay, so now there's no excuses. Easy money idea, make a JRPG where a new protagonist visits the world of Digimon World 3 and the SOC returns. Include Junior and his friends as adults in the game as cameos, gym trainers, or something, I don't care how. Offer the starter pack system again with 3 whole new lead Digimon in each pack. Allow people to either get the data of the Digimon and fill in the 2 to 3 sub slots with those Digimon, or keep the traditional party-like system so that you have to make friends with Digimon to fill your ranks. Allow your Digimon lines to digivolve into really any Digimon as you go through the game. Idea number 2 would see you in a world-building simulator where you control a human helping Digimon or some other Digimon remake a File City. Give the player a plot of land to build however they want as well. Focus on highly customizable areas and avatars. Really lean into the sim life and customizabilities. If you include survival elements, keep them light, don't make them the main focus. The battle system could be something like Next World Order, where you coach your Digimon instead of giving them direct commands. Personally, I've always liked the JRPG approach or tactic approach, but do whatever the fuck you want there. That's not the focus of the game. I highly recommend there be some kind of tower defense mode though, where you need to protect your city with your new Digimon friends and the way you've built up the place as well. This will give some added variety and a nice optional content for the player. Third idea is a personal wish. Make a Digimon Warriors game. How sick would it be to mow down hordes of Numamon and Demi-Devimon while raging about as a fully leveled Omnimon or something? It'd be such a left field pick, you'd have people's attention easily. Utilize an in-map Digivolution mechanic and party-based gameplay system. This way you can DNA Digivolve on the fly if you want to, and you can Digivolve if you feel like you need to against a commander Digimon like Puppetmon or Machinedramon. This will be a super easy way to show off the battle prowess and creative abilities of a ton of Digimon. Fourth, revisit the Digimon Rumble Arena franchise. You were so close with this series. You got the right dev on board, it could easily make you so much money. Platform fighters are popular among casuals and hardcore gamers alike, so this will be a slam dunk if you don't muck it up. And in an effort to not make this list too bloated, I'll put my most wished for game in 5th. Please, for the love of everything that is good, make a roguelite. A Monstama roguelite done right is one of the most addictive things you can possibly do. Creating variety on each run with different biomes, Digimon parties, enemy types, run rules, and more would be amazing. You could provide a lore-relevant skill tree to the protag, allowing them to digivolve further by obtaining crests, eggs, and whatever prerequisite is needed. Once a player beats the game, they can unlock things like DNA Digivolution, Blast Digivolution, hybrid forms, and more. You could even throw in secret areas, difficult challenge bosses or puzzle bosses, and more for players who want a more intricate, difficult run. This would be so easy to do in either a pixel top-down format or as a 3D game, and I'm sure it would have fans of the Monstama, roguelite genres, and Digimon fans praising it. Even though Bamco has failed to do Digimon justice, I really believe that it's a series worth putting your time into. It does have something for everyone, in my opinion, and that's what makes it so special, even if it does divide the fan base at times. Anywho, that's all from me on this one. If you enjoyed this, I'd really appreciate you considering joining my Discord and checking out some of my other videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Nya.